Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to The Walk. Today is Thursday, January 9th, and we just saw that we're in the middle of this lament against Egypt, and that God is not going to tolerate the pride and the sin that has been taking place there. So that brings us to chapter 30, verse 10, which says, "Thus says the Lord God, I will put an end to the wealth of Egypt by the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon. He and his people with him, the most ruthless of nations, shall be brought in to destroy the land, and they shall draw their swords against Egypt and fill the land with the slain. And I will dry up the Nile and will sell the land into the hand of evildoers. I will bring desolation upon the land and everything in it by the hand of foreigners. I am the Lord, I have spoken." All right. So it said that they are going to sell. And what does that mean? Now, that kind of grabbed my attention. Found the answer in the Cultural Study Bible once again. And it says, in the ancient world, the concept of selling something did not emphasize getting money for it as it might in today's economy. Rather, the emphasis was on the transferring of ownership. In Akkadian, the word for sell is also the word for give. Ruth 4, 3-5 also shows flexibility in the use of this Hebrew term. As a result, it is not pertinent to ask what Yahweh is receiving in return. That is not the issue. He is transferring possession of the land from Egypt to Babylon. So basically, God is handing Egypt to Babylon. Verse 13. "Thus says the Lord God, I will destroy the idols and put an end to the images in Memphis. There shall no longer be a prince from the land of Egypt. So I will put fear in the land of Egypt." Okay, what was this Memphis? Right away, I'm thinking Memphis, Tennessee, right? Well, that was a royal, and according to the Cultural Study Bible, that was a royal residence during this period and the center of the cult god Ptah, P-T-A-H. A creator deity and patron of the craft guilds. It was the city in which kings were enthroned. So this Memphis is a place where the kings lived, and he's putting an end to the images in Memphis. Verse 14, "I will make Pathros a desolation and set fire to Zoan, and will execute judgments on Thebes." So this Zoan is an important, according to the Cultural Study Bible, an important administrative center in the 8th and 7th centuries BCs. So this Zoan is a mecca of administering and taking care and governing Egypt, and it's going to be set on fire. Verse 15. "I will pour out my wrath on Pelusium, the stronghold of Egypt, and cut off the multitude of thieves." Now, Pelusium, according to the Cultural Study Bible, was known for sin. Usually identified with Pelusium was an important fortress town in the northeast frontier of the Delta region. It held a strategic position in Egypt's defense against invaders from Western Asia. So this was a defensive place, and he's pouring his wrath on that defensive place. Verse 16, "And I will set fire to Egypt. Pelusium shall be in great agony. Thebes shall be breached, and Memphis shall face enemies by days. Young men of On and Pi Beseth shall fall by the sword, and the women shall go into captivity." So, according to the Cultural Study Bible, these areas were an apex of the Nile Delta region, just north of the city of Cairo. It normally appears in Hebrew as On and Bubastis. Pi Beset, Hellenized as Bubastis, was a town in the Nile Delta region. It is modern Tel Basta, located 35 miles south of Cairo on the Tinitic branch of the Nile. It was the residence of Shashank, a biblical Shishak, a powerful monarch in the 22nd dynasty in the 10th century BC. So once again, the homes of these monarchs are being hit, and they're being hit hard. "At Taphanes, the day shall be dark, and I will break the yoke of Egypt, and her proud might shall come to an end in her. She shall be covered by a cloud, and her daughters shall go into captivities. Okay, what was Taphanes? According to the Cultural Study Bible, it was an outpost in the eastern delta region of the Nile, bordering the Sinai. It was later known as Daphne by the Greeks, who inhabited the outpost as mercenaries of the 7th century BC. The Greek historian Herodotus states that Daphne was one of the 3 outposts set up by the Egyptians to stop the Assyrian invasion. The Judites in flight from the Babylonians may have stopped there in the 6th century BC. Verse 19, thus I will execute judgments on Egypt, then they will know that I am the Lord. Okay, so this sounds like God's being very brutal. He's coming in, he's wiping them out. All of their big places are being hit. All of the important places that they need to survive are being hit. So how is this the God that we know? Well, he's doing it for one reason. Then they will know that I am the Lord. It's to point out that he is still the Lord and to bring those Israelites that are reaching out to Egypt back to him. That's part of his love, that's part of his mercy, and that's part of his grace. And he cares for us in the same way. He will use sin to draw us back to him and get us in a closer relationship with him. Have a wonderful day. God bless, and keep walking the walk.